Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Let me get my microphone a little closer to me here. Yeah, I see that. Somebody is sending me a picture, and it looks like there are two of the same morning show going at the same time. This is not my fault. And I know that you're going to think that it is my fault, but it isn't my fault. I just hit it once. I don't understand. I don't understand, Antonio. What did I do? There are 25 people watching it. I don't know how to get rid of it. Oh, these people. And by people, I mean the people that are running the YouTubes that are making all these things happen to me, that are making me look bad by not getting this right on my behalf. Good morning, Antonio.
How are you doing, sir?
Well, not that great. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, how do I get rid of this other stupid chat?
Now I'm a boomer too. Now you gotta remember that. I don't know.
We're both in trouble. We are in real trouble here. Let me see. That's what my dad would have said. He would have said, "We're in real trouble here, son." Now what can we do to fix this and make it right? Let me see here. Who knows? So that other show is just going to go. It's just going to go and go and go. Good morning. Anyway, let's forget about that and let's move on with the news today. Woke up, got out of bed, went on a live stream with V Live. It was pretty good. Talked about all things Comicsgate. And it turns out that like something was going on last night that I should have been paying attention to, and I just wasn't. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're referring to Mr. Quesada?
None other.
On his oh man, that was strange.
I don't understand what he's doing. Oh my
like
God.
Down.
Well, it's one thing to talk about Comicsgate, but to get very specific about current events when it comes to Comicsgate, to be like, well, Ro Kabir Kumar. Now, you know, I'm going to find this. I want to see if let's look at. I haven't even looked at all these yet. I'm just aware that it's happening. But I saw one interaction with Edwin that was like Joe Quesada is well, okay. How would one be aware of Ro Kabir Kumar, who wasn't directly involved in Comicsgate, either pro or anti, but mostly anti, I would think. For those who don't know, let me pull up the chat here and see what's going on. Yeah, normally I do this right away, but I'm very flustered today. Very flustered. Who's in here? Oh, Nerd Wonder's in here. Hi, Nerd Wonder.
Oh, I heard Joey Q, and I had to bust on in.
Yeah. I've known Joe Quesada for a long time. I've known Joe Quesada since '96.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah. Joe Quesada.
It was 14. So, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I've known him. Well, look, he was doing work for Harris Comics when I was over at Harris Comics doing Cyberfrog.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's saying here. I feel like doing a screen share. And let's just see this stuff here.
Yes, I notice you. I'm the senpai that notices you, Akuro.
This is going to be a quick one, by the way, because of course, you know, I am doing a lot of work. Are we screen sharing? Can you see this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me click on me. All right, what is this? So this is new. He's actually commenting now, real time.
Oh, he's been up since I want to say since 11 p.m. So I don't think he's went to bed.
What in the world? Well, you know, I 41 minutes ago, 6 hours ago. So he probably got like 4 hours or 5 hours of sleep right here. You know, and then he just showed right back up again. But let me see here. He's talking about John Malin?
Yeah, he went after John Malin.
What the hell is going on? Well, Joe, surely something you've got better things to do unless something very bad is happening in Marvel right now.
A lot of bad stuff's happening in Marvel right now.
Oh my God. Oh, wait a second. That's wrong. Okay. All right, John Malin. Hey, John Malin. Just popping this back up to the top. What's a purse puppy? It's something your boy brought up in a lot of the videos that I supposedly never saw. I'd love to hear how you define it. Does Joe think purse puppy is racist, or does he think?
Let's be okay. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure he never saw a single video. I bet people kept talking about the purse puppy thing, and that's all he knows.
People are informing Joe about certain things, certain bad things that diversity in comics has said, and purse puppy. Well, Joe, if you're listening, purse puppy was actually coined by a transgendered member of this community, who came up with the term purse puppy, with thinking about characters such as Paris Hilton, who used to walk around and have a little dog, a small dog in her purse, and it was fashionable. It was like fashionable 10 years ago to walk around with a small dog in your purse. And it was meant to just kind of, what did it do? Humanize you? What was the effect? It was like,
I call it Nurse Golem syndrome. It's where you're a trophy. You're a trophy. You show it off. You're part of their fashion statement. That's
right.
All you're an item.
It was fashionable. It was fashionable to carry a puppy around in your purse for a little while.
Yes.
So this transgendered member of our community started to compare diversity hires to that very same phenomenon, because usually only empowered white people are the people who announce that we need more diversity and inclusion. And they're the ones who actually have the ability to hire diverse, quote unquote, people and put them to work. And it seemed to some, and by some I mean this transgender person, that this was only a matter of personal vanity, that somebody was virtue signaling that they are a good person and they wanted to show that off. So there were some people who were hired and put into positions of I don't know, not power. I don't know, what would you call it?
Like just on the little shelf. That's all it was to, you put us on a pedestal of, like, you find somebody that's a POC or some sexual orientation that's different, or a woman, and you put them on a pedestal and you show it off, and that's it. That's really it. It's all to be like, look at me, look what I caught. It's a Pokemon. It's a Pokemon.
In a way, yeah. I guess it was just meant to make you feel pretty good about yourself. And it's purse puppy is definitely a sneering, mocking kind of thing to call it. It's to sort of compare you to a super rich, privileged person, wealth, privilege, who uses I don't know, social justice, your power over social justice, to simply make yourself look better. That's what a purse puppy is. I don't know why John didn't answer that. I guess John just didn't feel like answering it. But it's strange. I'd be interested in knowing why Joe Quesada finds that to be offensive in any way. I mean, it is offensive, but it's not a term that I find it to be kind of clever and pretty apt. A pretty apt description of this phenomenon here. I wonder what Joe thinks of that. I don't know.
I'm not very curious about what Joe thinks about a lot of things.
Joe's you aren't.
Joe doesn't.
Antonio, you are curious or you aren't curious?
No, I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, he's just. He's been spouting a lot of nonsense and then ignores the things that they do.
Well, he says that he's just like, well, listen, this was an internal matter that we took care of. And then he points to Ro Kabir Kumar. And he's like, now you've got somebody who's threatening someone. Now, first of all, Ro Kabir Kumar did not outwardly threaten anyone. I think he was joking in a DM, a private DM with a third party.
Yeah, he was joking around.
Yeah.
It was a dumb joke. It was.
Of course it was. It was irresponsible. He made a couple of mistakes. One of which was that he made it seem like this was something that I ordered. Bring him, Caesar, bring him. I don't know what's going on with these people. So, it's like Joe's like, well, yeah, I got a lot of people who might be running wild. But I talk to them, and it's an internal matter. Now, what about you?
Yeah, the Mark Waid with Peter Samedi. That's let's just let him continue on and bring a man to suicide. That is a great idea, Joe. Great idea. Let's go talk about how he hates Asians for a few minutes.
Does he hate Asians? I mean, what the hell?
Mark Waid does.
Oh, Mark Waid does.
Mark Waid hates Asians because if we notice, he goes after Asian creators. Like, he will rip into you if you're an Asian creator, and it's weirding people out. And so, to the extent where a lot suspect he's racist against Asians.
That is weird.
Yeah, but Marvel will never address it.
Well, yeah. Oh, hey, Nasser.
Nasser's here. Nasser, Nerd Wonder, Antonio Bryce, all of us on the morning show tonight. This is going to be a quick morning show.
Did you just say on the morning show tonight?
I always say that. I always think it's nighttime. It doesn't. It's because it's dark in this basement. It's stupid. On the morning show this morning. Yeah, it's going to be a quick one because I've really got a lot of work to do. And I'm going on the Dick Show later on today, so that's going to be fun.
Are you drawing the Brand Fair ad cover? Are you doing that?
No.
Never mind.
No. At the moment, I'm drawing frogs and salamanders.
Oh, okay.
And
Always a good choice.
But this is something else. So I get it. These are you boys, but hopefully, what is this about?
There's so many of the tweets.
Edwin, you're right. It's late. I'm willing to accept your reason for forgiving your friend from the beheading comment. I thought I had made that clear. Maybe I didn't, but you didn't respond to my other questions. I get it. These are you boys, but hopefully you'll be able to address what I asked directly and honestly with either a yay or nay. What did he ask? Scroll back. Context matters. Here's Edwin. Look at Edwin's bright, sunny face. What is he replying to? I can't see.
That's great.
Damn it. Now I lost it.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fine. Just talking about Joey Q and how he's
Joey Q.
All right, let me see.
Or Joe Queso, as I like to call him.
He said nothing about that one guy, Robbie.
The man that ruined Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No, he did. He said, it's wrong.
Anymore.
Okay.
I was 14.
Yeah,
I left Spider-Man because of that man. I left all Marvel.
Yeah, he destroyed Spider-Man. That was horrible.
I left literally all of Marvel. I would not touch a single movie. I would not play a single game because of what he did.
What did he do? Refresh my memory.
Sorry.
He decided that Spider-Man should not be married, and that the marriage aged the character. So he wanted to, and even though they already had Ultimate Spider-Man that was a young Spider-Man and all that, he decided that the main Marvel Spider-Man should be, the marriage should be dissolved. So they came up with this One More Day storyline where basically Aunt May had gotten shot, I think, by the Kingpin.
Yeah, she got sniped out during Civil War, and she was going to die.
And so they had to bargain their marriage to save her. So it's like they basically made a pact with the devil to give up the marriage in exchange to save her life.
It's worse than that. He also he added in that they sold their daughter to Satan. I mean, to Mephisto as well. Like, they sold their child to it.
Wow.
And,
is that the baby that the Green Goblin had stole during the clone?
Yeah, it said, I am the child you will ever have. So I'm like, pretty much, even if the other one's dead, you know what that means? That the deal means he takes all the children. All of them. So he probably owns all the kids in all their universe. You can make a story out of that. But here's the thing about it. It's supposedly he did this because, he lets his real life, he lets that affect his work, which is the worst problem you can do. Number one, his father died, and it was from smoking. So what did he do? Nobody can smoke anymore in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I remember when he started doing that. Wolverine.
That's weird.
His wife and him were going through a bitter relationship, and it's kind of noticeable that he started that.
Nerd Wonder, you're yelling. So take it down. Take it down a notch, and people are saying, "Oh, my headphones."
Does the Punisher
It's
smoke?
the morning. It's early morning.
Does the Punisher smoke?
No, he's
No.
not allowed to
No.
anymore.
But he
Wolverine's not
used
allowed
to,
to
right?
anymore.
In the original, yeah, he used to
Yeah.
smoke.
They all used to smoke.
Punisher? I know Wolverine smoke, Kingpin smoke.
I'm pretty sure the Punisher did once in a while. Maybe not always. Jonah Jameson used to smoke.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
can't-
oh, yeah. J. Jonah
Yeah,
Jameson.
Jameson used to smoke a cigar. Yeah.
Yeah, that was standard. Yeah.
They can't show any of it. And then Quesada, after that, he went through a bitter divorce with his wife, and he kind of, it seems to showcase whenever he wrote a story about a woman, they kind of, I'm shocked nobody talks about why didn't Gail Simone stuff all his creations in the fridge, because he started murdering.
Well, Peter David did the same thing. He got divorced from his wife after like 20 years or whatever, and he decided to kill Betty Banner. That's why. Yeah, so he did that too, and he admitted that he felt like that he was writing while he was married. That's why Bruce Banner was in this stable relationship, and then when he got divorced, and he was going through that tough time, he was like, yeah, let's kill her.
Yes.
All right.
And then,
Nasser's wild in here. Look at Nasser. Joe, 1 minute ago, Nasser goes, Joe Quesada, maybe you should address the known racist and harasser you and Marvel, Disney, CB Cebulski, Tom Brevoort employ. Mark Waid. Mark Waid hates Asians. Marvel employs racists.
Yeah. You know about the Kwanzaa thing, right?
No.
He calls all of a lot of Comicsgaters who are black Uncle Toms.
Oh yeah, no, he does. That is true. That is true.
Well,
That's terrible.
Joe Quesada never said he should stop doing videos, just that I personally deplore how he goes after professionals based on the personal. I'm not sure that he does that. I think that everything that's kind of put on Twitter becomes, everyone's business. It might be personal, but maybe you shouldn't be launching your personal issues on Twitter when you are a professional if you don't want them discussed. This is a lesson I had to learn. Also, clearly stated that my biggest issue is with the professionals, that's me, who associate and amplify his platform. It's also John Malin, and let me think of who else here. Mike S. Miller, Mitch Breitweiser. Also, free to do whatever they want to do. That's fine. So what is your big issue, Joe? What is your big issue? I hope you're paying attention to the way comics are becoming pretty violent towards conservatives. I hope you're aware of that. I hope you're watching. And I've known Joe for a long, long time, and I know Joe to be mostly fair. I see that he's picked a side here, and that's okay.
Yes.
But Joe, I hope you're paying attention to the way conservatives and right-leaning creators are being treated by other professionals online. And I know it might hurt to see us fight back, but we've decided to fight back. We've decided to group up together and start our own business, our own little business, look out for each other and protect each other from the crushing weight of what has become the far left mainstream comic book industry. Now, if you can't see that, it's because you're a part of it. If you can't see that, you're POP, part of the problem. And that is fine. You can choose to be that way. But none of this, I mean, everything, I just read everything you posted. This is not substantive. You're upset that Diversity in Comics, some random dude I think he's from Wisconsin originally. Where's he from?
Nebraska.
Nebraska. Yeah, one of the Midwest. You're upset
Cracks me up, man. He's just a dude that sits on his bed and flips through a comic, and he's like, "This sucks," and then the whole industry just loses their mind. It's hilarious.
Well, he's got a huge. Here's the thing, Joe. And here's the thing. He's got a huge platform because people agree with him, and I know that's alarming. But 80,000, 85,000, nearly 90,000, I think now. 90,000
now.
90,000 people agree with him. Understand him, can relate to him, feel the same way. Now, if you had 90,000 people agreeing with you that a Spider-Man book was great every month, you'd be in good shape. You'd have a platform and an argument. You'd have something to stand on. He doesn't need to justify himself to you. You don't like what he's saying about pros? These people that you're talking about have tried to destroy his life. They've tried to physically assault him violently. They've tried to do all manner of things because at first, Joe, it was just about the comics. And then it became violent. when some people that you employ actually colluded and planned to hurt him at a convention. Then it became something else. Then it became a few people that you used to employ who are no longer there, and that's a good thing, attempting to dox him, figuring out that he used to work at PayPal, trying to get him fired from PayPal. Fortunately, he was no longer working for PayPal. That was just on his one of his records somewhere.
It was on LinkedIn. Yeah.
LinkedIn. Figuring out who he is, figuring out who his child is, threatening his child over the video game that he was playing, threatening his kid.
That's
somebody
disgusting.
that you employ over his video game system. Hey, your dad is a piece of shit.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know about that part.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You, Joe, all of this stuff, clearly your biggest issue, how he treats the professionals that you employ and how people like me associate and amplify his platform. I agree with his platform that comic books, the mainstream comic book industry, has become toxic, hostile, inhospitable to right-leaning, vocally right-leaning creators, and yet lifts up and celebrates vocally left-leaning creators. I agree with him that the behavior of some of these professionals has gone off the deep end, and they are celebrated for it. They've become hostile. The industry has become toxic. People are irresponsible. People are behaving irresponsibly on social media. And believe me, I sympathize because I was there too. You know, I was all Trump on Twitter. I was all Trump on my Facebook as well. I get it. I understand. It had to be explained to me very carefully by Diversity in Comics that this isn't how to win customers over. It's selfish. It's not. People are not here to listen to me in my politics. They're here to listen to me talk about Green Lantern and now Cyberfrog and now Comicsgate. So, you know, this is a serious problem, and you directing all of the power of Marvel Comics at this one individual, you're only making him stronger. You're making his point more valid. You're justifying him. You're justifying everything that he does and says. When you, Joe Quesada, step down from your, I mean, where you're sitting, you've got way better things to be doing than this, unless you don't. Unless this is actually a legitimate thing at this point, that his criticism is stinging so badly that you actually have to come out and say something. All of this, we know this to be bullshit because we endure it every single day. I made a list of 36 things that I'd personally witnessed and endured that had been done to Comicsgaters by people that work at Marvel, in part, and to me personally. And I was told to stop whining. Hey, mainstream comic industry, stop fucking whining. Comicsgate is here to stay. We're doing our own thing. We're not hurting anyone. Where there is an issue with people who are fans, where there is an issue with people that we either employ or work with or anything like that, where they get out of line, we will do just what you said that you do. We'll deal with it internally. It's none of your business. And I'm telling you, this is only going to get bigger because this kind of behavior, this kind of attitude, this kind of rules for thee but not for me. This isn't gonna sustain itself. This is only going to make us stronger.
Facts.
Yep.
So this is shameful. This was embarrassing. This tirade that Joe went on is embarrassing. I'm sorry he did it. I'm sorry this is happening. I know he's listening right now. I've known you for quite a while. This is beneath you. You know, you've got subordinates, but your subordinates right here are part of the problem. This guy's the worst.
Yeah.
This is a 12-year-old. This is a round 12-year-old bearded 60-year-old man.
Yeah. Dude, have you seen his cartoon?
No, he's got a cartoon.
Okay,
cartoon.
we call it the Powerpuff Girl reboot. Let me explain. The Powerpuff Girl reboot, they decided, one of the writers on the show decided to add himself in, and he made one of the main characters fall in love with him and like idolize him. And Joe Quesada was heading the brand new Spider-Man cartoon, which is so bad they're most likely going to cancel it very
Yeah, I
soon.
had to stop watching that. It was
He
awful.
added himself in. He put himself into the story as the great mentor that Peter Parker looks up to. Yeah, Peter Parker looks up to the man that decided, I hate everything. I hate my wife, so let me do one more day and then write in my own daughter to be his new love interest. That
Yeah.
literally happened. I don't even know how old she was, but I'm pretty sure she was not college age or older.
I have no idea what any of this is, but it is. It seems like a waste of time. This is look. He's still going here. Hey, that's cool. That's right. You don't have to believe me about anything. I respect that. Plus, most of this stuff, unless I state otherwise, is my opinion. Just take it for what it's worth to you. Be well. All right. So that's it. That seems to be Joe closing out. I hope so. I hope he stops now. Stop the bleeding. This is awful. This is absolutely awful. Telling a personal story here. This is irrelevant. You want to talk about bullying? You know, we have people on our side who are afraid to go to conventions now, Joe. This stuff here from your pulpit talking about how we are wrong and shame on us. We have normal people. These are just normal people. The Brightwisers never hurt anyone.
Nope.
Hey, for that matter, I never hurt anyone. I'm unsafe to go to conventions. Mitch Brightwiser is unsafe to go to conventions, and I suppose that's just fine by you. I suppose that's fine. Robbie Rodriguez is great to go to conventions. He can go to any convention. He'll be celebrated.
That's a pervert, though. I didn't understand that. I was like, that is perverted behavior. I don't get that the anus gate. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So look, again, this is sad. It's stunning. Like I wake up in the morning and I talk to my wife and I'm just like, we're doing stuff here. Like this is a big deal. Every morning there's some new thing that's just like, how big are we anyway? How important is this movement? It's clearly very important because
Yeah, they're afraid. They're definitely afraid.
This is exactly. Antonio, they're scared.
Oh yeah. I was like, because that's the thing. Zach's turned he toned his thing down way. He hasn't his videos. He hasn't been going in on people. He's scaled back. He's been trying to just focus on getting the books out, and they're like, we will strike now. We must go after him. I'm like, yeah. He apologized a couple of days ago. He apologized to Mags, and I'm sitting here going, wow. I was like, okay.
I think he deleted some of the videos too.
Yeah, he did. He took down. I think he took down some Heather Antos videos. He was just cleaning up certain things that he didn't feel comfortable having on the channel anymore. And that's what I'm saying. I thought that showed real growth, and he realized that, hey, maybe I made a mistake here or there, and even though the agenda was right, and I actually respected him for that. But no, they had to come. And it seems like he getting back fired up, and I actually kind of want that fiery Zach again. So,
yeah, I think he's Zach's attitude now is kind of like, hey, I'm overlooking like $500,000, whatever he's got, whatever he's made. He's like, that's I'm somebody who has made $500,000 in a year. I need to stop tangling with transgendered comic creators on YouTube. I agree, and I've said that for quite a while. I mean, it's just like, oh wow, Gojirify, what a great quote. He says, "Thanks for $5." EVS, it's not about how big you are; it's about how small they are. Boy, what a thing to say. And by the way, you can never underestimate, how small they are. Would you say overestimate or underestimate in that context, Ian?
Say that again.
I said you could never underestimate how small the comic book industry is willing to make itself. Would you say overestimate or underestimate? That's a tough one, isn't it?
That's a tough one. Yeah. Because it could go either way. It could go either way. I mean, like, it depends on the echo chambers, the size of the echo chamber, and how they perceive themselves to be.
Lightning fan, $5. Disney's fiscal year ends this month. Is it any wonder why the panic is going all the way to the top? Yeah, that's the truth. September 29th is the end of the fiscal year for Disney, and Marvel's a part of Disney, and certainly people are going to get talked to. They're going to get spoken to.
They're going to get oofed.
Yeah. Some things might change. I've said that Kathleen Kennedy is leaving.
She is.
Spoke to me about that.
Yeah, she actually is leaving. She got fired.
Well, that's what we believe happened. You don't know that to be true, though. 100%.
It's a rumor, right? That she's supposed to be leaving this month, September.
Yeah. I started that.
Hey, Donald.
Hi, Donald.
Hey, Donald.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, we're talking about the industry.
Yeah, Donald, we're talking about what's going on right now, and really, the alarming responsibility that we find ourselves with, because the mainstream.
What?
Something happened?
What is
A
that?
lot of strange noises.
Yeah.
A lot of strange noises.
But yeah, as we were saying, the quarter's about to end, so that's a year end, and Disney is going to be looking at their Marvel holdings and see that it is not profitable, and then a bunch of people are going to get yeeted out of the industry.
They got
that's
it.
what happens.
And this is all the while people are sitting there telling us that comics are doing just fine. I'm like, comics are not doing just fine. Matt, $5. This is also the anniversary of Axel Alonso, quote unquote, retiring, and nothing has changed. Only gotten worse for Marvel.
Oh, you're right.
Midnight Cherry TV, $2. Samedi for Marvel CEO, Uncle E, CEO of DC in 2028. In 2028, okay, that's a reasonable goal. I don't want to be a CEO anywhere. I just want to draw Cyberfrog. If I'm a CEO, I want to be my own CEO. I don't want to work for these
your own boss. Yeah.
My God.
Be the boss of your own company.
Of course. Of course. It's
Who wants to work for these guys? I mean, imagine if they put you in charge of Marvel. How would you clean house? I mean, let's just make this a fun hypothetical situation. What would you do to clean house at Marvel?
What would I do to clean house at Marvel right now? A lot of people would be fired. A lot of people
have to fire everybody.
Yeah, and most of Editorial. I would reach out to people who used to work for DC Comics who stayed behind when DC moved to LA. So I'd be looking at Joey Cavalieri. I'd be looking at Matt. What are these people's names? Anyway, I would dig up everybody who stayed behind and who semi-retired. When DC left, and I would implement them. The DC Comics editorial has always been professional. They've always been professional, and these people are wilding. I mean, some of these Marvel editors are wilding out. Not all of them, but just a couple of them. They need to be replaced, and we need people who. And what I would do is I would just say we're going back to 1961, and we're going to start over again, and we're going to rebuild the franchises that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby built from the ground up, and we're going to get our house of ideas in order again. No more of this weirdness. We need to actually represent these characters in a way that is pleasing to the fan base, and that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, et cetera, would be proud of. Oh, and Dave Cockrum.
Yeah. I would start reading Marvel again. I'd start reading Marvel again if that happened.
I would love for you to be in charge of Marvel.
I would not. I would never ever. First of all, I'm not qualified at all, and
no,
I would never want to.
No, I would help you. I have plans. I've got a huge storyline where I could reset all the crap that they did. I've been thinking about it for months.
I think it's worth asking if the people currently running Marvel are qualified to do their jobs.
Oh, none of them are.
None of them. They're look how they act.
Precisely.
Anthony Halberstadt, I'm here now. God damn it all! What did I miss? You missed a pretty me yelling. Vile Corruption YT, $10. Go back to the Kwanzaa thing. He stalks the feet of black comic skaters, and if we are
Yes.
left leaning, he calls us liars. Then he turns around and cries about harassment after harassing us. That sounds familiar.
Oh,
That's amazing.
it happens all the time. He's right. He's got corrupt. He's got a huge archive, and he stalks them all. It's crazy.
Oh, hey, John Malin.
John Malin's here. John.
John is here.
Hey, John.
John, how do you feel? Do you feel like you were roasted by Joe Quesada today? Like you were the center of that. I think he was trying to get me, and I think maybe the Brightwisers too, and you just went all in. I was asleep. What'd you think?
Yeah, I went toe to toe with him, and he eventually wanted to resort to trying to get me to discuss about Richard's issues, which I don't feel are really a part of the problems at Marvel Editorial, and which do directly affect Joe Quesada. And to actually answer Ian's question, I would remove a large chunk of the editors at Marvel immediately. I wouldn't necessarily fire them, but I'd get them out of creative positions. They can go to the mailroom. They can deliver coffee. And I would bring in the old guard is what I would do. I would bring in professionals, strong writers and strong artists from the past to join the editorial pool and to give guidance to all the artists and writers that are out there on how to craft stronger stories, be to the best that you can, apolitical. I feel that, there is a place for Green Arrow to be political. And I also feel there is a place for someone like Captain America on the other side of the spectrum to be political. Other people may not agree with that. That's my point of view. But I think that overall, the comics have to be geared for everybody in the mainstream. So in order to do that, we need people that are going to guide in the next generation of talent, because everyone is aging out. The really, really good commercial artists are all getting near retirement age. And if there's going to be anything left for the next generation, we need to start training killers again for artists and writers and people that are willing to push the envelope and tell really intense, gripping stories again, and not play everything safe. We're Marvel and DC, well, specifically Marvel, is going to lose if they keep playing it safe and jumping to negative reaction type content, such as putting Ta-Nehisi Coates on Captain America. They're counting on bad press to be the good press, and that's a poor strategy.
It's an extremely poor strategy. Yes.
Good points there, John. Sock Puppet Joe, $10. Would you bring Chris Claremont back? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if he's tired now. The Doctor, $2. Cockrum, Byrne, Claremont, all in prominent roles. Editorial, I would pay them very well to be editors. Well, Cockrum's no longer with us, but me here, you there, $4.99. You talk about echo chambers. Zach has listened to criticisms and worked on becoming a better person based on those critiques. Well, he listens to his fans, but he's got ideas. He's got his own concepts, and I think when he responds negatively, you have to watch all this stuff happen in context. That's why his fans have stayed with him. That's why his viewers have stayed loyal. If Zach was just out there wild and calling people names, apropos of nothing, ad hoc, just calling people names,
he wouldn't have viewers.
He wouldn't have any viewers. Everybody would have turned against it. There aren't 90,000 bullies in comics. There are 90,000 people who have watched this whole story go down and who agree with his criticisms of comics.
It's because of the points that he makes, apropos of the insults that he throws out. You can just remove the insults and people would still agree with him, and the industry would still be mad at him because they don't like what he's saying. And so they just go after him for the insults, which, they're whatever. They're not to their taste, which is fine.
The dark roast.
Yeah,
the dark roast.
The dark roast, yeah.
Like that, I guess, in their life. And it's like the dark roast will haunt him forever. But it's not pointing out that he did a dark roast and called Heather Antos a disgusting degenerate word that he shouldn't have used.
Absolutely.
It doesn't discount, it doesn't destroy the wealth of his very accurate criticism, his insightful criticism over the past year and a half. So Antoine Dennison, thanks for $5. Let's go back to 1981. Miller, Daredevil, Claremont, X-Men.
The good old days.
The good old days.
Oh God.
Remember when you used to just be able to read Marvel and enjoy it?
Yes.
Well, Joe Quesada was
The
a big
90s.
part of that for me. I will say that, Joe Quesada, this is what I don't like about this. For Joe is, Joe said that this month is the anniversary of Marvel Knights, which is also the anniversary of them taking X-23 from me. I should have asked him that. I'm going to get on there and ask him that now that he's paying attention. Hey, Joe, remember when I created X-23? That was 20 years ago today, right? That's 20 years ago, whatever it was today.
But you made
to
X-23? Really?
Yeah. For Joe Quesada.
Wow. Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
People said you also made Dust.
Yes, I did. Well, that was in collaboration with Grant Morrison. It's just part of the, I drew a girl in a burqa and made her turn into sand. So I'm co-creator of Dust. It was entirely Grant Morrison's idea, and there weren't too many ways to go on that. I mean, it's like, hey, it's a woman in a burqa. I'll leave the design up to you. Okay, thanks. So yeah, I did. I am the co-creator of Dust. I have credit for co-creating Dust, but it's not one of my. It's not something that I celebrate like it's a big design achievement, because it certainly isn't. But yeah, X-23. I did create X-23, or what was the character that was to become X-23 with Joe Quesada. And I don't have credit for it. I don't expect credit for it because it was
a multi-million-dollar idea.
Well, which one of my ideas isn't? I mean,
Which of your ideas isn't? I mean, this one certainly is. Cyberfrog is. I think it's going to be a multi-million-dollar franchise.
I do too. I mean, we're almost already there. So sure.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening.
Go Girify. Oh, good. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say. Oh wow, what was I gonna say? Never mind. You continue. You go first.
Okay. Go Girify. Tarantino model. He goes back to the great actors that aren't being cast anymore and shows how greatly missed they are. Yeah, that would be a good thing for Marvel to do. Let's see. The other, hey there, Uncle Ethan. Whoever said you have a nose like a builder's elbow should be ashamed. Now listen.
That is such a backhanded,
compliment. It's so true. It's so true. Been dealing with that my whole life. Mark C, $10. Marvel needs to pare down to 25 titles. Bring back guys like Tom DeFalco, Chuck Dixon, and older creators as editors. Then use Peter Simeti formula for production. I disagree about Peter Simeti. I don't believe in the $1.50 comic. I don't believe in it.
I believe in it.
Yeah, it doesn't work anymore.
Because people don't want to buy cheap stuff. They want to buy nice stuff.
They want to buy premium stuff, and comics are premium.
Yeah.
They really
I do not want to buy a $5 comic. That's up to you guys, but I'd prefer buying them for $1.
I mean, it'd be nice to buy them for $1, but the quality just wouldn't be there. You wouldn't be able to get the.
You can't
the
go back to that.
Yeah, there's no way. Inflation and
we're talking about artists that spend a lot of time on their work. You want to see John Malin on cheap newsprint? It wouldn't.
No.
It didn't look good. The stuff
manga makes it work. Manga does it all the time.
Yeah.
I think there's room for both. I think you can do a newsprint line at Marvel. I would probably call it Marvel Zombies. It would be a line that would be where Marvel fans would be capable of buying an entire group of books at $1.50 range. It'd probably be newsprint, but it probably wouldn't be stylized or using people with styles where it's like a big high rendering.
Like manga. Like the DBZ mangas or the
but they've
Naruto
done
mangas.
this so many times.
It doesn't work, right? Not for comics.
It doesn't work.
Well, they don't market it is the issue. At least that's how I feel. They don't market this.
They'll do like John Byrne's Spider-Man for $1 and nobody wants it.
Well, I don't know when they bring this out because they never talk about it. I think that's another issue is that, yeah, people would love this story if you actually spoke about it. But if it ain't their like Carol Danvers or their special event, they ain't going to speak about it.
About corruption, I don't know if Antos tried to use a nutcase stalker like Susan Ogre against me and get me labeled a Klansman, I'd call her worse. That's correct. I agree.
I wouldn't call her anything. I just point out what she did, and that would be enough to damn her.
Well, that's one way to go.
Yeah.
Or you could call her name on a video. I don't know.
I used to call people names, and I'm done with that. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. It makes you feel dirty. It makes you feel bad. I'd rather just point out how these people are bad rather than call them names, because then they can use that against me.
Doesn't make me feel bad.
Okay, Donald. Anthony Halberstad, $2. Darth Roasted. Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna get caught up with everybody here. Channing McDaniel, get some pie in you, Uncle E. Get your bearings. I've got a quarter of a pie upstairs. I'll get to that later. Steve Yan, what's with these long ass shows? I avoid them assiduously. Can't you do a 15-minute article review for people with shorter attention spans? Yes, but these longer shows are us discussing things.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
huge conversations.
It's like a radio program or a talk show in the morning.
Exactly, a talk show.
I hear people talking about the news stories, and I'm doing them. I'll have 2 more up today, and I'm going to do those in addition. But important things keep happening, and we need to discuss them. So we let you
guys news cycle. Yeah. Oh, and I remembered what I was going to say. How do you pronounce his name? Ta-Nehisi Coates, is it?
Yeah,
Ta-Nehisi?
Yeah, that guy, he called, in one interview that I recently read, he called himself a longtime fan of comics, right? And it's one thing to be a fan, it's normal. I'm a fan of comics myself. But he called himself a fan of like the industry, like he was really into the creation of comics. And this was basically to boost his cred. But he didn't know what inkers or colorists were. Like how are you? Yeah, how are you a fan of comics if you don't know what these things are? It's so basic. I'd understand if you don't know what a flatter is. Not everybody does. But an inker and a colorist, I mean, they're like 2 different people, obviously. But yeah, he had no idea. And so they basically hired this guy who had no experience writing any comic books to write comics because he was very well known politically. He wrote for The Atlantic, and he got a bunch of press attention and so on and so forth. He's a super woke guy that I think other woke people don't even like because he focuses too much on the victimhood narrative, the identity politics. I mean, he has been called out by black socialists, like I forget the guy's name. He's one of this really old professors who's a black socialist, and he doesn't like Ta-Nehisi Coates. He wrote this article in The Guardian basically roasting the hell out of him.
This guy sounds really cool.
Yeah, he's cool. He actually teamed up with God, I can't remember the other guy's name. He was he's a conservative. He teamed up with him to talk about current day issues. And so, yeah, I mean, this is the older generation of academics where they don't deplatform people for having difference in ideas. These are people like Noam Chomsky who will talk to conservatives openly and friendly. They're not going to be jerks about it. This is not what's happening with the current generation. People like Ta-Nehisi Coates are, he's like a quote unquote sort of academic, but this is not a guy who's going to talk to conservatives. He's going to call them Nazis instead. And
the other says that builder's elbow thing may have just been me. Thank you. Appreciate that still. All right, good. We're all caught up.
I just find it, I don't know if ironic's the right word for it, but I just find it funny that they would have this guy who has no experience writing comics hitting up Black Panther, and now he's covering other stuff as well at Marvel, isn't he? They put him on a new thing.
They put him on Captain America.
Yes.
I don't know. I have no problem with any of these people being here, but that's Joe's problem. That's Marvel's problem.
It is their problem. Yeah.
Get them in line.
Get them in line and have them write good comics.
What we're doing.
Well, you get someone like Ta-Nehisi Coates in line by getting the editorial in line. Editorial is the one that brings these people in, and they're bringing these people in because they're political weapons. Ta-Nehisi Coates is a weapon. Gabby Rivera is a weapon. I mean, you need to look at editorial to take care of these problems. When you focus on Ta-Nehisi Coates or any of these other people, you're trying to put a fire out by spraying the top. You have to go to the base of the fire to put it out. And the base is editorial. So editorial has to be corrected. Everything else is a distraction.
Yeah. So good stuff, guys. What a day. What a morning.
Oh, yeah.
I'm shocked by all of this. I'm shocked by it. I'm shocked by their reaction to other people just standing up and saying, this isn't the way that we're going to allow comic books to go. We are going to respond the only way we can. We're going to make our own comics. Winston Smith says, EBS, have you had any more woolly mammoth dreams? No. Woolly mammoth dreams. No. We're standing up and just saying we're going to do our own thing. And that's all that we can do. I respectfully Mind your business.
Mind your business, and if you want to make money, respect your customers. It's funny.
That's up to them. That if you
It's
want
up
to
to
make
them,
money,
absolutely.
do whatever you want to do. But I mean,
Yeah.
mind your business. We're doing our own thing. We've got our own creators over here who don't feel comfortable or don't feel welcome working for you anymore. And they're still great creators. I've scooped up Dave Sim to write Cyberpunk.
Dave Sim, of all people, Dave Sim.
Can you imagine an industry? Can you imagine Joe? Can you imagine an industry that's pushed aside Dave Sim?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's seriously ill. That's a mess.
It is.
I'm happy to work with them. I'm happy to do so. And you can think whatever you want about it. But we're gonna make great comics. We're gonna make great art. We're gonna do fun stuff. We're treating our community with kindness and respect and love. We feel like a family. This feels like its own community. I will hope that at some point the comic book industry pulls out of this nosedive and realizes the importance of what's going on right here, and actually will end up having to apologize for some of this stuff, some of the things that are being said.
It's definitely not happening anytime soon, right? Because people like Joe, they're more eager to point fingers at Richard and say, you're the problem with the comic book industry. But his own room is filthy. He needs to clean his room.
Yeah, there's no perspective yet. There's no perspective yet about what's going on here. And you're just in the middle of a cyclone. You're listening to a bunch of SJWs complain to you. You're reading a bunch of disgusting, despicable articles about what this is. This is a very important movement.
If you wanted to get down to it, he could just talk to you.
Yeah, well, I have nothing to say to him except for this. What am I going to talk? Am I going to justify what I'm doing to Joe Quesada? I don't work for him.
No,
none of these people work for him. Pointedly, we don't work for you, and we do whatever we want to do. We're doing our own thing. Our interest is we're entirely self-interested right now. We are not interested in the greater good of what Marvel is doing. Not at all. I mean, we're interested in what we're doing and our group of fans and producing the best comics that we can. So, respectfully to everyone, in mainstream comics, we don't care. We just don't care about your criticisms. It's like you're right. Clean your own room.
Yeah, clean your room.
Jordan Peterson. Make your own bed.
Make your own bed. Clean your room. Get your life in order. You're a mess.
What do you think of that, John Malin?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many problems over there, and we are doing our own thing, and we're being very successful at it. And that's thanks to everybody, all the fans, the Fandom Menace, Comicsgate, all this together is a new thing. And it may get redefined as we move along, but it's going to get bigger and bigger because, people like Joe Quesada, whatever, the CCO of Marvel can't.
Free advertising.
Yeah.
I hate these Comicsgaters, and we just get more people.
Comicsgaters don't know what he's talking about. That's the thing. When their criticism comes, Comicsgaters are like, "What are you nuts? What do you mean?"
He's attacking a straw man.
Mm-hmm.
And what I find really funny, so we don't really care about what's going on with Marvel. It's going to burn itself down. We're giving them free advice here. We're telling them, here's how not to burn your own house down, but they're not taking any of that advice. So if if the house burns down, it's their fault entirely. We just explain to them how to put that fire out, but they're not listening.
Well, maybe they'll listen to us now. Me and Antonio.
I'm very happy that he's going off the rails.
Well,
send us all your customers.
We have Robbie Rodriguez to thank for that in a very large way.
Yep.
And what is actually funny to me is that when he first started posting, when Joe Q first started posting last night, he got hundreds of retweets. All these anti-Comicsgaters, and there is an anti-Comicsgater group, certainly. They were retweeting it, but then he kept going on and on and on, and finally, his final tweet it got weird, and it had only 15 likes. No one even retweeted it. I quote tweeted it. No one retweeted him. My tweet to this guy, this is a guy who basically runs all of Marvel's TV shows, all of Marvel's everything. He can't even get traction because people are just tired of him. Even his own people are tired of what he's saying.
I will say this about Joe Quesada. when Joe Quesada was running Marvel, like running Marvel,
Like
when he was
actually
on the
running it.
ground,
Yeah.
1998 through 2010. When did Joe start? Not 2005, 2006. Whenever he kind of stepped away a little bit, Marvel was exciting. It was reinvigorated. Everything that he was doing was great. You want to talk about going back to 1981? We could go back to 1998. His Daredevil run with Kevin Smith was extremely exciting, appealing comics, as good as Todd McFarlane's Amazing Spider-Man, easily as good as that, and something to be proud of. I think that he hired and tried to nurture great talent. Some weird stuff happened when I was there. Weird stuff was going on. I was there for a year and a half, and it was weird. Well, no, I mean, just like editors were liars. Like they would lie to you, which I never appreciated. I never liked that. I don't like being lied to by my editor. Just tell me the truth, But that stuff was going on. You can go watch my videos called Marvel Comics Days.
Oh, I watched all those. They were long.
Oh yeah, the ones with you and the X-Men.
Yeah. Those will tell you exactly like the entire story of me at Marvel and what it was like working there. But when Joe left, when Joe kind of walked away, I guess it was like after one more day, that everything changed. Everything started to kind of go to seed a little bit.
He wrote a few other series during that time. I think he kind of lost it before. Myself.
Well, I'm not sure, but I just remember him being there and it being good, it being really good, and his influence is gone. I mean, Marvel just doesn't feel good anymore.
Or it's still there and it's just degenerated. So even CB Cebulski, who's the current editor-in-chief at Marvel, under the Joe Quesada reign, he was the talent coordinator and giving himself jobs under the assumed name of Akira Yoshida. So, I mean, every job he gave himself was a job that he took away from another freelancer. That's another liar. So this liar has now been rewarded a decade and a half later, whatever, and is now the editor-in-chief. So, I mean, this is a lot of people with known bad behavior who've probably been covering each other's bad behaviors for years. And now, thanks to things like YouTube and Twitter and all these maturing, now all of a sudden fans have a serious voice that isn't being drowned out by being blocked out on message boards. So now these things are coming to light. And I think what's probably happening is there's so many skeletons in the closets. These guys are all ready to put a knife in each other's backs. I think they're all defending the last gasp here.
Interesting.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. I think there's a little bit of backstabbing going on because of various things.
Under the bus the fastest.
Well, all I can say is, okay, that's fine. I think it's fair to say we heard the criticism, and that's fine. But we are still going to continue doing what we do. I don't think that anybody is looking for Marvel Comics to sort of backseat drive Comicsgate, and most of the criticism that Joe offered was about one individual, diversity in comics, and his voice, and it was offered from a place of, I think it's fair to say, complete and total ignorance. So, what are we going to do? Rob Schneider is Comicsgate. He can be the new Nurkish, says Midnight Cherry TV. That was funny. Let's see. McKinney 90. I have a problem with someone who basically celebrated 9/11. And is that anti-American to write Captain America? Well, me too. Other fans will too. They'll respond. I'm 50 now, and Comicsgate has me buying comics for the first time since I was 12. That's great. GR people, hail Caesar, hail Centurions and Fierce Valkyries. Matt Hayes, 2000. Gail Stallone came after me on Twitter. I suggested not to insult or antagonize customers. Gail Stallone, wow. That implies Rambo or Rocky. Well, which one? Gojirified, $10. Thank you. It's Christmas season, and we are the local news telling people Marvel to water their tree. Don't let it dry out so it doesn't burn the house down. Don't add lights to a dry tree.
Hey, now Dan Panosian is going after Edwin.
What?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I saw that earlier.
Mark C. I'm sure many will disagree, but I think the Quesada era started to go off the rails when he ditched the comics code. All right, let's see what's going on here. What Edwin's getting grief from Dan Panosian?
Yep.
Calling him a creep. Yeah, they insinuated that he might be a pedophile.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's replying to that one that Joe Quesada quote tweeted. One Edwin's tweets.
A pedophile.
There was one tweet where
Interesting.
Edwin was making a video. It's a video of a video where Edwin was talking about some of Vox Day's views, and I think it's a pretty old video. And he was just wishing him well, right? Saying, "I hope that your comic does well," or whatever. And yeah, all the people replying to it are insinuating that he might be a pedophile because they think he's creepy. Yeah.
They think Edwin is creepy? How weird is that?
Yeah, I don't know. These people are projecting way too much.
That's so sad. Poor Edwin. He doesn't deserve that. He's a really nice guy.
I know. Yeah. No one deserves that. They'll get offended though if you say that male feminists might be if you insinuate that they might be sex offenders.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no
Even though
girl
that's
should
true.
take a drink from them. I'm gonna say that much.
Yeah.
Edwin talks in videos. Like he makes, instead of tweeting just his words, he actually
He replies to-
speaks.
yeah.
Yeah, with videos, and I think that's probably a good thing for communication. It doesn't look like Edwin's even up. Edwin's asleep. He hasn't posted for 6 hours.
Yeah.
So
He's asleep.
I don't know what goes on.
Yeah, everyone was up late. So
Mm.
I didn't get to
Especially
bed till
Joe.
about 5:30 in the morning.
I wasn't. I was asleep. I had a great night last night. Great night last night.
Heyo.
Yeah.
Hey, Doug. I
Is
gotta
Doug
unbutton,
here?
I gotta
Where's
unbutton
the
this thing to get my full row Kabir look on here. Let me get this
Oh
on
yeah,
here.
yeah.
The
The
problem
Ro
is
Kabir look.
I shaved my chest. Usually it's really hairy and really manly looking.
Doug, did you wash your hands today?
Took a shower, yeah, so I did technically touch them with soap.
That's good enough.
Yeah. Clean. Shook a lot of men's hands at church. That means now I'm caked in germs and bacteria.
Yeah, that always makes me ill. When I get home from a convention after touching people and shaking hands, I get sick.
Well, do you ever carry with you sanitizer?
I
Sometimes.
do, but sanitizer makes me break out. Do you use it yourself? I mean,
It also makes you look like a
Doug.
mom when you walk around with the sanitizer. So yeah, I guess I look like a soccer mom walking around with that stuff.
right.
You can't do that. And now the guys at church at the door, they'll come up and they'll fist bump you. I'm like, what am I, Barack Obama now? Like,
No,
you
you
gotta
Doug
shake a man's
Snable.
hand. You got to shake a man's hand.
No, fist bumps is the future because of people like Doug.
Germaphobes. Grab my germy hand. Malin, grab my germy hand. Embrace me. We're like blood brothers.
Oh,
Kids used to, they'd cut their hands open. They'd share blood.
Oh my gosh.
That's what a firm handshake is. If you had an open sore on your hand, I'd shake your hand, brother.
Yeah, that's getting too gross for me.
Doug's great.
I don't shake women's hands. Sorry.
You kiss them?
Well, kiss them on the cheek. Yeah, if they're a friend, kiss them on the cheek. Sure.
You
only
won't shake
if
a
they're
woman's
only
hand?
if their husbands around.
Well, I gotta
Only if
go
the
and head
husband's
out,
around.
so I'll see you guys later.
Bye,
Later,
nerd.
bye.
Bye.
See you, nerd.
I think I scared her.
See you,
off.
nerd. What a thing that we say to each other. Now, like that in the 80s, that would have been the worst thing ever. See you, nerd. And you'd been like, what the hell? I'm not a
See you,
nerd.
nerd.
Yeah, remember Fonzie? Hey, sit on it, Rich. You nerd. And everyone's like, I'm
Yeah.
not a nerd.
I'm glad she's gone. No girls allowed.
Oh,
I love the
that's a burn. That's the burn. Oh, are we gonna sit with that? You can't. She's listening right now. You broke her heart.
She's
terrible.
not listening.
Okay, good. Yeah, get rid of her.
I'm about to sign off. I'm getting I'm getting back to work.
Yeah, good.
And here comes Doug. Doug comes in the last minute, and it's like I'm sitting here thinking, I wonder what Doug thinks of all this, and is he aware of it?
I heard something about Edwin when I was listening to the feed. Someone's saying Edwin's shading him.
Yes,
that's not cool.
It was a matter of time. It was only a matter of time before they turned their guns on Edwin. Edwin's too nice of a guy.
Yeah,
you know.
Someone calls him creepy.
Is Edwin creepy in any way?
No.
I mean,
no.
He's a normal guy. Really. This is what days we live in now. A kid with blue hair who watches cartoons all day and cosplays called Edwin, a normal construction working family man, creepy. See the economy we live in now. They just don't know what a normal man looks like. They haven't seen one, so to them it's like alien and creepy. He's awesome.
You know what? Like I'm noticing now that most of the criticism at Comicsgate, like really click on these people and look. They're all like otherkin pony spirits. You know what I mean? Like what the hell?
Yes. Why are they all so weird?
They're all like they all have these kind of cartoon anime animal avatars, and they are otherkin wolf spirits or something. They're like, I am a wolf in a human body.
Yeah. What are we going to do when we need these people to reproduce? How many bronies are going to parent children?
I don't know. Why is this tolerated? Why is our society tolerating otherkin? What is this?
Because we're tolerant.
Ethan, why is everybody in comics just so weird? Like, when did this happen? How did this happen? You've been doing this for like 25 years or so, right?
Yeah.
When did this take such a weird turn, and why? I don't get it.
I know the perfect person to answer that. Cecil.
Yeah, you guys are a bunch of weirdos.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. On the stock market exchange, they all wear suits. They were all doing like buy, sell with their suits. Then they'd go back and do cocaine in private.
Yeah, like normal people.
But in like video games, you'd go to different guys' cubicles, and their cubicles, grown men, they had a bunch of Happy Meal toys across the top. Like they went about Happy Meal.
Press C for Cecil.
Sickos.
Yeah, all of those cubicles are like that. They're little happy, like you're stuck in a cubicle and you need to have happiness around you. Now, listen, I'm no different. I have 28 Rostico action figures stapled to my roof or stapled to my wall right above me.
Yeah, but those are your icons. That's those are your
I'm drawing energy. I'm drawing Tico energy.
Yeah. They're your familiar.
Mm-hmm.
They're your talisman in the world of storytelling. They're your talisman. So that's different than
it's your muse.
Yeah, your muse. It's different than a Happy Meal toy.
I appreciate you all sticking up for me on this issue. Just justifying my weirdness.
Oh, it's Robbie Rectum.
Hey, what's going on?
Right.
I don't know why the industry. It is kind of weird, I have to say, but I'm sorry. I never got to apologize to you, Ethan, for that photo that was sent out. I was
waiting for that.
That was accident. Hold on.
Okay.
How can his microphone work so well with that thing? That's what I want to know.
No, Robbie.
Oh, a chocolate bar.
That's disgusting. That's not chocolate. That's not chocolate.
It was a Hershey. I'm a bit of a glutton.
Yeah.
You're supposed to eat it and put it in the mouth.
That was an accident, by the way. That was a case of, who among us has not jumped on a couch naked with their iPhone and accidentally tweeted a picture of themselves to somebody? I've done it. Listen, I'm sorry, Ethan. That was an accident.
These things happen.
Okay.
All I was looking for was an apology.
Robbie, how do you feel about all the trouble that your rectum has caused?
I'm telling you, it's been weighing on me heavily. I've been drinking night and day since it happened. I feel like I caused a lot of trouble. I feel bad. But the good news is the publicity has got me. I'm now the EIC over at DC.
Nice.
So Didio's out. I'm in starting October. So it's good. I mean, they say no press is bad press in there.
You can't hold it. You can't hold it.
Oh my God.
What is this show devolving into anyway? What is going on?
The bottom of the internet.
It is literally the bottom of the internet.
Literally the bottom.
Make me out to be the asshole. Great. I'm gonna put Cecil back on. Hold on.
All right, thanks. Yeah, for goodness sake.
Where does Cecil keep him? Is that like
In the closet. In the closet.
in the basement?
Yeah. Everyone's quiet while they wait for Cecil to take his ass
Hell,
off.
Yeah. I'm trying to get over my stroke I just had.
Get out of your ass, Cecil.
yeah,
Yes, indeed.
Robbie's upset. You know, people think he's full of shit, but he's really a nice guy.
I think Cecil wears that because then we're so appreciative when Cecil's back.
I am. I've
actually makes-
never been happier to see Cecil when he takes that off. I'm like, thank you.
It's
Thank
for
God.
contrast.
You got a little PTSD there.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I'm curling up in a fetal ball in the corner.
Damn, everyone's drawing Cyberfrog. Kevin Heath Kingdom draws Cyberfrog. Kev Heath Kingdom. This guy's great.
I
Yeah.
will never draw
I gotta retweet
Cyberfrog.
this. I gotta follow this guy. Yeah, I don't know who he is, but I mean, there's just so many talented people.
Do you know
Yeah.
do you know how hard it is to write cash grab? Every fucking day there's more shit to add. Like Robbie 2 weeks ago wasn't going to be in it. Now he's a major player. You know,
Yeah, now he's a chromium foil cover.
there's just a lot of
The sleeve. Trading card.
Did they make brown chromium?
Trading card.
I gotta
Brown.
look at
I'm gonna draw Cyberfrog. I'm gonna draw him right now.
Yeah, get on it and ask her. This
And
is gonna be
also,
good.
I'm thinking
Watch out,
about-
Arthur Adams.
about adding Dick Ryder to the cash grab extended universe. He'll be Dick Ryder, Spirit of Virtue.
Spirit of virtue.
Spirit
Beautiful.
of virtue.
Yeah, get that on. All right, listen, I gotta go. I gotta get to
I
work.
just started
I
drawing
got-
Cyberfrog.
Huh? Well, yeah, I gotta draw Cyberfrog.
Let me make an announcement because I'm going to start a stream. I'm going to interview Antonio, aka Antoine, in a few minutes. Right here, cash grab keeps on going. On Comicsgate continues over on Cecil Says. The fun never stops.
I like that radio voice, Cecil. That's a winner.
Hold up, I just finished drawing him. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put it now. There we go. There's Cyberfrog.
Pretty good.
I think you missed a few hours of detail on that design. You got
Oh, this looks better than Ethan's.
where's the chrome shoulder?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
You know, you could actually meme this where it's how to draw a Cyberfrog, and you draw a circle, and then you know that's the first panel. The second panel will be slightly more. Third panel slightly more, and then fourth panel is completed one. How to draw a Cyberfrog.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
I tried drawing Cyberfrog. I can't.
This is actually Soyberfrog.
Soyberfrog.
It looks
You need-
cute.
you need to-
What can I tell you?
It's cute. Yeah, you need to give him a like an open mouth though. The
okay.
silent grin.
I got you.
Off
I'm gonna set up
model.
my live stream right now. It'll be waiting for when this ends. We're going to tackle the questions that Ethan really doesn't ask of Antonio, mostly about his Tinder experiences. We'll delve deep on this Sunday.
This is going to be a long show.
Okay,
We're
I
not,
got the
We're
the
not
soy
afraid to
mouth.
get our hands dirty.
Is that
Oh,
better?
there you go. Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, there's the soy mouth.
Oh, now it's on model. There you go. You're
All right, brothers. You guys have a great Sunday. Go do important things. Go do God's work.
Yes, sir.
That's what
Bye,
I'm doing.
everyone.
Will do.
All right, goodbye, everyone. See you later.